and I think that was, and I understand that because the battle of the Armando versus Trump doesn't sell tickets, but the battle of the billionaires with Vince and Trump, given their history, I understood why I had to take the back seat. But I wish I had been given a little bit more of a role. Like if you go back and look at the posters, I was omitted from the WrestleMania 23 poster. I wasn't even on the DVD. I mean, I was on the DVD, but I wasn't on the cover with everybody else, right? I didn't do the press conference with Trump and everybody else. And if you watch the match, I was eliminated. I was taken out of the match, I'd say, within 2 minutes of the bell ringing. So I guess I would have liked to have been around a little bit more. It would have been nice to have taken a stunner from Austin, which I think was initially written, where Austin was going to take me out, which would have been great to say, hey, the guy that stunned the president of the United States also stunned me on the same show. But that was not to be, and I understood why they did it. They said there was just too many bodies at ringside, so, that was fair.
I was just looking at it, to me as a fan, it's like, man, his managers should be out there more. Managers should be. But, I mean, it makes sense about the billionaires. I just felt like, you got slighted a bit. But how was it working with Trump, albeit very, limited? But was he fun to work with of what you saw of him out there?
Well, the little interaction I did, and I'll have a Trump story for you here in a second, but, he was always professional. I think he did 3 Monday Night Raws, well, two Raws where he was actually live in the arena. And I think there was one where it was just, via satellite, and then there was the actual Mania itself. Always very professional, and I'll tell you a quick Trump story. So long story short, there was physicality, obviously, between Vince and Donald. And Donald, towards the end of the match, ran around the ring, tackled Vince, and proceeded to punch him in the top of the head. Well, Vince had asked me when the show had started, and we were probably an hour and a half before we were set to walk down the ramp. Vince had asked me to go and meet Donald to make sure he was good with the physicality, right? Just to make sure, because you've got 1 million buy rates, you've got 80,000 people in the stadium. So I go and I say, Donald, Vince wants to go over the physicality again. He just wants to make sure you're good. He says, yeah, I'm fine. He says, where does Vince want me to punch him? And I says, well, I think he wants you to punch him either in the side of the neck or in the top of the head. And Trump says, okay, well, I think I'll punch him in the top of the head because I feel more comfortable there. I says, do you want to practice on me? He says, sure. I says, okay, so let's just pretend you're on top of me, and let's go ahead. You've tackled Vince. Go ahead and punch me in the top of the head. So Donald Trump, the President of the United States, proceeds to punch me in the top of the head as if he is hammering a nail in the wall. And if you go back and watch the tape, that's exactly how he punched Vince, okay? Only thing is, he hit me in the top of the head so hard that my head started to swell up a bit, like above my eyebrow. He must have caught me with a knuckle. And afterwards, he says, are you okay? I says, yeah, I'm fine. I walk away, my head starts to swell up, and I says, holy shit. I forgot to tell him to pretend to punch me. So Donald Trump legit punched me 5 times. My head swelled up. I took some Advil, so I was fine, kept the swelling down. I also wore that cool-ass, big-ass hat around my melon, so that kind of helped conceal the abuse. So the president of the United States assaulted me without provocation.
That's great. And can you believe that WrestleMania 23, we go forward 10 years, it's WrestleMania 33. 10 years later, Donald Trump is the president of the United States?
I mean, never say never, right? I mean, the previous generation probably found it hard to believe that Ronald Reagan became president, right? He was a famous actor, right?
Yep.
So and I only know that because of the Back to the Future movie, right? When Michael Keaton, Michael Keaton's character, not Michael Keaton, what the hell did I just
Michael
call
J.
him?
Fox. Yep.
Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox was sitting in the diner and asked somebody who the president was, and there's something like that, and they're like, Ronald Reagan, the actor? So, hey, history has a way of repeating itself, I guess, right?